Hello, guys. Welcome to Cozy Controller. And the moment has came. The moment we all been waiting for. The new Resident Evil Requiem is out. Released last night at midnight, and I gotta admit, I was one of those crazy people waiting until midnight to get on and play. I just really couldn't wait, and let me tell you, playing it at midnight is just a different experience. It's really immersive at midnight, let me tell you. Cause yeah, the game is scary, okay? But Resident Evil Requiem continues the story 30 years after the events that happened in the Raccoon City, the famous Raccoon City incident, and the story is split between two protagonists, Grace and our favorite Mr. Kennedy. So the story is the story with Grace and is she's like FBI analyst, and then it really follows the lore and what her family went through since the Raccoon City incident. So it's pretty interesting to see all the lore and everything that her family went through. I've been a fan of Resident Evil for since I was a kid, and I had no business playing these games when I was like 10 years old, but I've been playing these games for a long time, so they're pretty amazing. And you know, I'm sure all of our favorites, Karate Kennedy, yeah, he's a badass. So his story is more action packed, and like you get to use his axe, you get to just destroy all these zombies. But the difference between him and her is that she's like more timid. You're doing more exploration, you're doing more analyzing things that are going around. With him is just like action packed, non-stop action. So I like his part better so far, but her part is too interesting. And then there's a lot, like last night I was in the hotel, and then it was like just like a constant scare, like things would drop around, or something would happen, and I it would just like be like you know it really would like be a jump scare like all throughout the first 30 minutes of a game. She goes into a hotel, and I think they said it's gonna be most of this game based in a hotel for her. But you know what I said, don't buy this game if you first are faint of heart, because already the game is pretty scary and crazy. Just jump off the start. But and then also don't buy it if I heard this is going to be 30 hours. So if you're looking for like a longer game, it might not be valuable for you. Maybe might want to wait for a sale, because you can get through this game if you praying like a madman, probably like in a couple of days, or in a day, even if you are if you are no lifer. But the game is bit short in that way, but short and sweet. When a game is like getting dragged on too long. But um, maybe wait for a sale if you're not as much of a fan of the series as I am. But I see this game is has a promise to be like the game in the franchise. Like a lot of people are hyping it up. All the streamers are gonna be playing it, and it really has potential to be something special. Like maybe even the best game in the franchise. But last night I played, for like an hour or two. Check out the stream. I did a little bit of a stream. We're gonna improve the quality of that stream soon, but check it out regardless. Did a bit of a stream there. But the graphics look amazing. Like it's very polished. The game feels very smooth. So I really like it so far. Like I'm excited to see where the story is gonna take us. More so with Leon, and then Grace's family background and her history. Like that's also gonna be interesting to see. But let me know in the comments, like if you guys are gonna be buying it, if you guys are gonna be playing it. What do you guys think? I think like the Raccoon City is like probably like my favorite setting. Like I played the village, and it was cool. It was kind of like castle and spooky and all that. But Raccoon City really takes it back to like the OG story, and then it's gonna go more into details, like what really happens, what's gonna happen. Like I think Raccoon City is probably my favorite setting. And, I was playing the game, and Raccoon City kind of reminds me of New York, and I'm based in New York, so it was like super immersive to play it. And I like that it's split between two characters. You get like to experience both. You get kind of like psychological thriller, FBI agent that's trying to investigate, find things out, and then you have Shaw, who's absolute badass, who is just mauling through all these enemies, who is you know um such a badass with his axe, and different types of like finishes that he's able to do. Um, I think that yeah, 30 hours should be able to get through it pretty fast. But I would say definitely give it a shot if you're a fan of the series. If you're like faint of heart, if you are not that much of a fan, but you still want to experience it, maybe wait for a sale. Spring is coming. They might be having some sales, but I definitely like love what they did so far. And then my Raccoon City is my favorite, setting. So, you know, um, that always helps. Another thing I noticed is, you know, the puzzles are not that difficult, which depends what you prefer. I'm more like the action part of it rather than the puzzles and stuff like that. But puzzles, they were like okay, they were pretty straightforward. Like I was, find this part to open this key, but so that was pretty straightforward. But yeah, like I would say, definitely check it out. If you're a fan of the series, looks amazing so far. We'll see what grades they get, and on IGN and stuff. Like me personally, right now, like it's really like it feels really good. I have to play a little more to see if it's like like a 8, 9, or 10. But right now, like the game just feels amazing. But thank you for tuning in, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.